Hello and welcome. We are so grateful to be here to share what we do and help you with whatever reason brought you here today. We are very excited to talk about our success stories. And before we get started, please, just for my team, amazing team, I'm so proud of them, please give them a big hand for setting everything up today. They really did a great job. I am so proud of them and I feel very loved. They take wonderful care of me, and they'll take great care of you as well. So as Stephanie mentioned, I'm a facial, plastic, and reconstructive surgeon. And I've done over 10,000 cosmetic procedures of the face and neck. And in today's world, our appearances matter. Some people say, well, is this about vanity? Right? Do people treat us differently based on our appearances? Yes or no? Do people treat us differently based on how young or how old they think we are in our workplace or in our relationships? Right? Who is the most important person that treats us differently? Someone said, it's me before you. I'm the most important person. I agree with that. Right? People talk about vanity. Now, our appearance is a tool. We can use our appearance to communicate to other people. Before we even say a word, our appearance says a lot about us. When we use our appearance negatively to put other people down, or some people even put themselves down with their appearance, that's called vanity. But when we use our appearance to inspire other people, inspire ourselves, there's a word for that, that's called style. And we see our patients come back, they're part of our family, it never gets old, we have fun. We were in the office this morning, laughing, it's just so much to share and celebrate. And first of all, thank goodness we all made it through all of the weather, right? There's certainly a lot worse things that could have happened, but we're here today. So we're excited to share with you what we can do. Appearances do matter. Look good, feel good, do good. And I like to make it very simple because it can get very complicated. Does anyone here ever get confused about all of the cosmetic treatments on the market, right? You see a laser on TV, you say, does that really work? There's a new one coming out almost every day, and some of them even work. But which ones? That's why we are here. So I am honored to be here. There is an energy that drew you here today. Why are you here? Something inside prompted you to pick the phone up or send an email saying, I would like to attend. You had to get ready. You had to block your schedule. Whatever it was that brought you here, we want to satisfy that. So I like to be very practical. When you're doing cosmetic treatments, there are only 4 areas we address. That's it. Just 4. You should write this down. Number 1, if we sag, then we tighten. Keep it very simple, right? If we sag, we tighten. We're just putting things back where they already were. I have 3 kids. My wife, she's the woman of my dreams. My kids are 14, 11, and 10. And what do we tell the kids all day? Put that back where it belongs. So if it falls, we lift. If we lose volume, then we fill. Right? We lose volume, we look more hollow or skeletonized. We fill, it makes us look younger. Number 3, skin. If we get sun damage, wrinkles, and sunspots to the skin, then we polish and repair the skin. Right? The 4th category that impacts our appearance, it actually outshines everything else. And that's our behavior. None of our treatments look as good as Mother Nature's free facelift, right? I can't outdo it. When we smile, that looks better than anything we can do. Am I right about this? I don't make the rules up. Do me a favor. Turn to who's next to you. Just give them a big smile. Give them a big smile. Just share your smile. Isn't that nice? Don't we look nicer? We're not as scary, she said. Right? We look at people sometimes and say, I don't know if I want to talk to that person. You know, it's like, oh, what? You know, we can sometimes. But when you're smiling, you look more inviting, right? Appearances matter. And did you notice how the energy in the room perks up a little bit? Isn't that nice? We should do this more often. Well, you know how it is when you're in the grocery store. and you see someone and you give them a smile, what do? They usually smile back, right? It's nice. So appearances matter. In fact, they matter so much, we're going to do a little exercise. What I'm going to have you do is everybody needs to stand up. This will only take a moment. Stand up, and you're going to get a partner. Grab a partner. One partner has their hand up in the air. The other partner, hands down. So if you are the partner with the hand up, you are the smiler. If we need an extra partner, come on over to this side. Everybody have a partner? Everybody needs at least one partner. If your hand is up, you are the smiler. If your hands are down, you are the poker face. Smilers, you're going to face them and give them your best smile and try and get them to smile. Poker face, your job, try not to smile. Right? On 3, do your jobs. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. All right, good job. Give yourselves a hand. Now switch it up, though. Switch it up. If you were the smiler, now you're the poker face. Now you're the poker face. Now you're the smiler. And see if you can get them to smile. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. She's good, huh? Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. Right? Now what just happened there? Were you able to get them to smile, yes or no? Yes. Were they trying not to smile?
No.
Yes, no, some of them weren't trying not, they're trying. Do you mean you can force people to do something that they don't want to do? If you're really good at smiling, right? The point is, it's a reflex, it's contagious, it's like yawning. It feels good, it looks good. But have you ever noticed how some people really don't smile that much? Did you ever notice that?
I have no teeth.
Sam said they have no teeth. It matters. Let me tell you something. If something happens to your teeth, it actually feels more difficult to smile. We feel self-conscious. Why? Our appearance matters. And I have patients, it may not be their teeth, but they may say, I've got this thing, and I spoke with a patient this morning. She came in and she says, you don't understand, every time I look in the mirror, this bothers me so much. She doesn't like how it makes her look. She doesn't like how it makes her feel. So that's why I'm here, to guide you. If we're sagging, we tighten. If we lose volume, we fill. If we get sun damage to the skin, we polish and repair the skin. And I do have patients do smile therapy in the office. I ask everybody to smile in the mirror because that's our motto. When we smile in the mirror, and you smile and you're looking in the mirror, it plumps up the cheeks. That's what we try and recreate. It tightens us up a little bit, softens some of the lines. Now some people smile a lot more than others, right? Some people, when I ask them to smile, look in the mirror and smile, they actually just burst out into laughing. They look at them. It just comes right out of them. So this is how some people smile when I ask them to smile. They look into the mirror, they go like this. Like they're really trying to get it out, and it does not come so easily for some people. You know what I'm talking about? Some people actually have a debilitated smile. They just don't smile that much. And when they really want to smile, it's harder for them to do. The point is, I can help you look younger. If you want to look more attractive, there's only one way to do that. You're looking good. Look at that. You look in the mirror, right? If you want to look younger than what we can achieve with these treatments, then you just have to act immature. And it works. I don't make the rules up. So we're going to go through tightening volume, skin, and then behavior. There are 4 principles to how you look good. Number 1, you must look natural. Yes? So say that back to me. You must look natural. And you will. That's my job. Number 2, safety. Safety is number 1, but people, they feel very strongly, say, if I'm going to do something, I'm not going to look natural, no way. You will look natural. Safety, that's why we avoid the general anesthesia, we avoid IV sedation. There's no surgical staples, there's no surgical drains for our procedures, right? You will look natural. Safety, prevention. If we're lucky, aging keeps coming for us. So prevent future aging changes, and lastly, give you as much improvement as possible. If we need to come back another day, that's better than going too far. Do you follow me? Okay, good. So those are our foundations. With that in mind, I'm going to show you some before and after pictures. You've got these wonderful books. I'm very proud of this book. This is really, I believe, the very best facelifting book that you can ever find. I truly believe that. We've been giving this to our patients for years. It hit the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. I have patients. I just saw a patient recently. She was teaching. She's a teacher. I said, "Did you read the book?" She says, "Yes, I loved it. I loved reading the stories, helped her understand." Her husband said, "You read it a couple times." She says, "Yes, I did read it a couple times." I hear that a lot from patients. It's a great book. So please do read it. This way you can understand through the eyes of other patients what their experience was. So you've got the book. You've got some of our patients here today that have done treatments. Everybody's experience is different. But when you talk to enough people, see enough pictures, ask enough of the questions, you'll know what is right for you. So before we leave today, we'll do a one-on-one. Even though there's a lot of people here, we finish the seminar, you'll have an idea of what's right for you. I'll sit down with you, we'll create a plan. We like to think 10 to 20 years down the road. What are the best treatments? Most people do not want to do a treatment that they're just going to repeat every year. Do you follow me? So we'll give you the longest lasting treatments available. We'll give you your options, and you can choose what's right for you. Do you follow me so far? Okay, so you've come to the right place. We're very excited that you're here. We're very grateful for the opportunity to share what we do for our patients. And so I'm going to show you some of our before and after pictures. Mindy, can you go to the next one? Mindy's our advancer here. So this is Judy. Judy is a family woman. She's a big smiler. Has anyone here ever raised a family before? Who gets put first in family? Everybody else but you. Who gets put last, right? The mother. That's one of the things that we love so much about what we get to do. We get to put you first. You deserved it. You earned it. So we're so excited that you're here. Judy's a family woman, gave to her family. Now Judy was a caregiver. Has anyone here ever been a caregiver before? Is that easy to do? It's stressful, frustrating, it's around the clock, hard to get a break. Judy did this for her parents for about 20 years of her life. Now it was great that she could be there for them, but it takes a toll. When her parents passed, unfortunately, her husband fell ill, and she was his caregiver for an additional 10 years. So for 30 years of her life, Judy was a caregiver, and when her husband passed, she made a confession to her family. She told her daughter, she said, "You know, I feel like I've lost my identity." She'd always been living for someone else. She really didn't do things for herself. That day, Judy made a very important decision. She looked into the mirror, and as she looked at herself, she had noticed how she had aging changes. She didn't look as young as she used to. She pulled back on her jawline like this. She liked what she saw. Does anyone here ever do that at home? Yeah. Okay, all right. You've come to the right place. She liked what she saw when she pulled back in the mirror. She made an appointment. She came into our office. I will never forget meeting Judy for the first time. You know how when you meet people that have been through difficult things in life that the little details don't tend to bother them so much? You know what I'm talking about? This was Judy. She was very centered and quiet and very humble. She told me about her family. She told me about her goals. We sat in front of the mirror. I showed her what the lift would look like. I said, "How does this look?" She says, "I like that." I said, "Some get a little bit less. Some get a little bit more. If we need to come back another day and do more, that's better than going too far." She says, "I like that." And as she was looking, then she gave her daughter the look. Like she looked over her shoulder asking her, "You know, what do you think?" All in a look. And her daughter just said, "You go for it, Mom. It's your time." So Judy did a laser image lift. She did some filler in the cheek, and she did an eyelid treatment. And we'll show you here are her results. And can you advance to the next one for me, please? So it looks natural. That one zoomed in quite a bit. There you go. So you can see her neck and jawline. Looks natural. It's not overdone. Okay. Now, I love it when patients come back into the office and they're standing a little bit taller, their shoulders are back, they're smiling more. Judy came back, she was wearing bright clothes, dangly earrings, and I love to ask, well, what's the response been? What have people been saying? Now, some patients come back and they say, nobody could notice a thing. They either thought that their hair changed, or maybe they lost weight, but they couldn't figure it out. And some patients, they're frustrated. They said, no one can figure it out. They're frustrated. They want people to say something, but when it looks natural, they can't see it. When it's done poorly, everybody sees it. Do you follow me? So you must look natural. So Judy comes back, and I love seeing her energy, and she's smiling, and she's more animated. She had been attending her church for quite some time, and for the very first time, she became a greeter for her church. Hello, so good to see you. Come right this way. Let me get the door for you. And it really made me discover that it is never too late for anyone to invest in themselves, to blossom right where they are, to be in touch with who we feel we are on the inside. And it's beautiful every single time. And I know when we've hit that spot, because patients come back and they give us the biggest smile, and it feels good. And we're laughing, having a good time, and we send them their pictures. And you know, there's a famous plastic surgery saying, we look at the pictures, and I love it. Patients come in, we've got videos of this on the YouTube channel. People see their pictures for the first time, because they'll come in and say, oh, I like it, it's good. They look at the pictures and says, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that's how I used to look, really? There's a famous plastic surgery saying that after we do a cosmetic treatment, our vision gets better and our memory gets worse. And we look at those before and after pictures, and it's just a fun, special time. So we're excited to share with you what we do in our office, and we're excited to help guide you in your decision. So Mindy, can we advance to, so this is Sally. Sally's a swimmer, and she did a lifting procedure and laser, perfect. She's very active and very difficult to see the incision locations. Thank you so much, Mindy. She brings donuts to the office when she comes in, so we love seeing Sally. Can you advance to the next one for me, please? This is Mary, and then just rotate that up just a little bit for me. Mary came to an event very similar to this, and you can see she did the lift. Her concern was, she said she couldn't afford it. She couldn't get it into her budget to make this work. But she still had it done. Now, how is it that she had it done? What I have found is that there are two main reasons people can't get the budget figured out. Number one, they literally have a lot of commitments and things are plugged in, or they've got property or whatever the case may be, and they just can't free up the funds. They live on a fixed income. But my team figures things out that you can make the budget work. That's what they do best. The other thing I found about the budget is that we get used to spending a certain amount of money on ourselves. And sometimes people will say, you know, I could never spend this kind of money on myself or do this. Or people take a vacation. Now some people say, that's no problem. I'll spend money on myself. I love spending money on myself. But I saw a patient just recently. She said, oh, I can't afford this. I've got to do, here's what I want. She came back and she made the decision. She wanted to invest in herself. She says, you know what? I'm going to do this. And she made her budget work. So do you understand what I'm talking about? Sometimes we just have an idea of what we spend on ourselves. My goal is you know your options, and you can choose what's right for you. But what I do know is it's special every time. It can be completely life-changing when you tap in to what's important to you. So what I'd like to do, now I'm curious, you've come this far, you've come out today, what specific areas did you want to learn about? You've seen some of the things we do, but were there any specific areas in the face that you'd like to learn more about specifically? We've talked about the neck and some things we do in the face. Any specific areas that you'd like to learn about for cosmetic treatments? Dark circles under the eyes, so we'll talk about that. Yes, we will talk about these areas. Yes, any other areas? Around the mouth. marionette lines. Okay. People ask us if we do anything for the body. When you do the lift, I just focus on the face, but if you do the lift and you pull really, really tight, sometimes you get a little bit of tightening here. I'm just kidding. So we will focus on those areas. In the eyes, we can do tightening procedure with the lift or with fillers. So we will touch on that. So now this next before and after picture that I'm going to show is truly our best result that we've ever been able to achieve with the latest technology, the Power Smile, all wrapped into one. I'm very proud to share this with you. Can you show our next one here? There we go. That's our best before and after result. And now that's actually my daughter when she was in 3rd grade. Now she's in 9th grade. She's getting ready to drive soon. But let me ask you a question. Do you think we ever have people that come to us and they want this kind of improvement? So we have to have a talk with them. There's a limit on how far we can go. We can't take things this far. We'll take them as far as we can. If we need to come back another day, then that's what we'll do. None of our treatments look as good as the smile, but we can help you look younger. So we can't go this far, and that's why the one-on-one is so important, because we'll talk about your goals, what we can achieve, and set the expectation. Okay? So next slide, please. Melba, and just if you could raise that up just a little bit. Melba has come out to many of our events. She called these her Richard Nixon gels. She did a lift, she did laser treatment, resurfacing, she's done fillers, eyelid treatment, and then she also did a little touch-up procedure. And next slide, and you can see it's very difficult to see the incision locations. Looks natural, not overdone. Okay, next slide, please. This is Jeannie. She's a nurse. We have a lot of healthcare providers that come through because they don't want to go to the hospital. They don't want IV sedation. They don't want to be around other patients that are actually ill and need to be in the hospital. They don't want to be around that. We have an outside consulting firm. They monitor all of the practices for our office-based surgery. Right? You always want to be improving your standards. So we have a lot of healthcare providers that come through. Next slide, please. This is Martin. He lives out in the villages. He plays a lot of golf. See, he's got all the sagging on his jawline there. We did a lift for him. And can you see how it's very difficult to see the incision location? It fades very nicely. Right? And notice too, see in front of his ear here on this side, see the little brown spots he's got there? Can you see those brown spots on this side? If you look closely, it's tucked up all the way behind his earlobe. They get pulled all the way back, so we remove all that skin. So it's all done under local anesthesia. Next slide. And here he is smiling. We always look our best when we smile, and you see his jawline. Next slide for me, please. Thank you so much. Mary, she came in, she did a lifting procedure. She got a great, but she was not satisfied. She wanted to get more improvement yet, so we did an additional treatment. Now, if we need to come back and do an additional treatment, that's always better than going too far. That's what we did for Mary, and during the one-on-one, we'll give you an idea of what your risk is for that. Is it a high likelihood, low likelihood, whatever the case may be. Now, her story, this is also Mary, her grandson would come and greet her and jump into her lap, and as he did, he would reach up and grab her neck and pull it back and forth. She hated that. Now he doesn't have anything to grab onto anymore. Next slide for me, please. Thank you. This is Al. Al wanted to do a lifting procedure. There's 3 basic types of lifts that I will offer. The image lift does the most. So what we do, we give you relaxing medicine by mouth, numbing medicine like in the dentist office, lift the skin, tighten the muscle, trim away the extra skin. Very fine little stitch to close things up. We walk you to your car when you're done. That's the image lift. Now there is a mid lift, which some people just want to do a little bit less, or it's easier for their budget, so that's a step below, but it's a good option, and I do that with or without laser treatment. The next option I offer is the mini. The mini is a great option. The mini is good if someone says, I really don't care about this area, like this. The mini can be a great option. One-on-one will figure that out for you. For Al, if you notice, he had a lot under here, and I said, Al, it would probably be best if we did the image lift or the mid lift. And he said, just do the mini. I'll be fine with that. So we did the mini, and he got a great result. But if you look at his pictures, he still has a little bit under here. He's okay with that. but not all of our patients would be. So that's why the one-on-one is so important. We can set the expectation and figure out what is right for you. Next slide, please. Laser tightening. So this is 1 day later. There's no physical downtime when I use the laser to tighten the neck. Next slide, please. Thank you, Mindy. This is 1 day later. No physical downtime. It tightens the skin only and removes some of the fat. You know how we can lose the elasticity in our skin? It's like the elastic band or the old sock. They get stretched out. It doesn't fit so well anymore. So the laser does a great job. Next picture, this is Monica. And she came on TV to demonstrate her results. And you see her jawline, how that tightens up in the neck. This is 7 months later. She also did a little filler in the corner of the mouth and the cheek. She came on TV to demonstrate her results for us. Looks natural. Next slide, please. This is the lift at 1 year. This is Nancy. Nothing replaces what the lift can do. Let's look on her profile view. The next slide. Thank you so much. Perfect. Notice how the neck and jawline improves. The laser cannot give you this type of improvement all by itself. The lift tightens the muscle and it removes the extra skin. Okay? And now I can combine them. Next slide. When I use, for Judy, I did the laser for the skin, the lift for the muscle, and the lift to remove the extra skin. So 3 different strategies to tighten and contour. Same thing for Bev. She has a radio show. She's a fitness instructor. And you see the profile, laser to tighten the skin, lift to tighten the muscle, lift to remove the extra skin. And then RJ, she's an actress, she's in movies and television. She did the laser to tighten the skin, lift for the muscle, lift to remove the extra skin. And then next slide for me, please. Some of you have brought your photos when you're younger, and they're helpful. If you don't have them, that's fine. But if you have your younger pictures, you can see how the volume changes. So as we get older, we lose bone, right? We get a little bit shorter, right? I don't make the rules up, that's just the way that it is. The bony prominences in our face. Take your finger and feel the bone in your cheek and in your brow and the back of the jawline and the chin. And all of those areas, they do very slightly, ever so slightly, erode and get a little smaller, and the facial mask will sag over time. So talk about doing brow lifting. I think surgical brow lifting is one of the most overdone procedures. I don't think it's really necessary. I think instead of, in many cases it's not necessary, I think instead of doing a surgical brow lift, you can reinflate. You can just fill and get a nice improvement because we hollow. So we make up for the bone loss. So you can see for Diane, she did the lift, and if you look at the back of the jawline, you see in the back of the jawline here how she's hollow, right in front of her ear. And then here, we did the lift and fillers combination. Next slide, please. So these are combination. Katie's full of volume, hollow, and we lose volume, lift and fill combination together. Next slide for me, please. And Liz is 18 here, and now she's 72 in this photo. Full of volume, we did lift and fillers, and she looks natural and not overdone. Next slide. Fillers alone do a great job. This patient loved her results, got a nice improvement. No downtime. Next slide, please. Full face. We've won awards for our results. National meetings. 7 syringes, full face. Next slide, please. It looks natural. It's not overdone. Some people are happy with just 1 session, but some are not satisfied until they do a 2nd or 3rd session. This gentleman that I'll show you next, he did 2 sessions. She did 7 syringes total. He did 16 syringes. Full face. You are going to get options here that you will not get in most other places. The most important decision you make is who is taking care of you. That's why we're so excited to be here. So this is 16 syringes full face, less than 30 days. Okay. Next slide, please. We offer laser resurfacing. The lip wrinkles, laser does a good job. I saw one of my patients today. A month ago, we did the lift. I did some laser tightening here, and we did the resurfacing, and we did a little bit of filler. She loved the results. So the laser resurfacing, next picture. This is my Aunt Shirley. She's 76 in this picture. She did the laser, and she did the lifting procedure. She's 76 now. She's in her 80s. Can you do the next slide for me, please? The one before that. And this is Aunt Shirley. Oh, it's upside down. This is Aunt Shirley at a wedding just this year. Just turn your heads upside down and you'll see it better if you flip around, making sure you're still awake. And she's active, living a good life. Now, Phyllis, she called these her waffles. So she said it looked like she fell asleep on a waffle iron. She did the lift and she did the laser. Okay? Next slide. Thank you so much. So, have you seen some results that you've liked so far? Would you be happy if you had a result similar to what you've seen here? Okay. You've come to the right place. Why do we do treatments like this? This is really about quality of life. Now, if you live here, you understand quality of life. There's a lot worse places we could be living. Anyone here from up north? Do we have to ask why you moved down south? When we live up north, it's cold. We move down south and our quality of life, it goes up. Now, when our faces start to go down south, you just lift them right back up north, quality of life goes up. But isn't it interesting how people get into patterns, that we get into an autopilot? You know what I'm talking about? For example, when we're driving, you ever had that experience? You're driving your car, you drive into your driveway, and you can't even remember driving for the past 5 or 10 minutes? Has that ever happened to you before? I hope I didn't run through that stop sign. We were on autopilot. Or we put the clothes in the car, and we're going to drop them off on the way to the cleaners, and what do we do as we're driving? You say, there it goes, right? Because we're on autopilot. Everyone has an autopilot when we look into a mirror. That's my job, is to watch people in mirrors. When we look into a mirror, we tend to look at the exact same places we always look at. And we tend to say the same things to ourselves. When did I start looking like my mother, father, brother? Some of my patients, their pattern that they tell me, they say they don't even like to look into the mirror. They'll get ready, they'll do their hair, but they don't look. They don't like the way it makes them feel. That's their pattern. So I want to ask you, this is Dale. What do you think her pattern was? She's in her 70s in this picture. When she looks in the mirror, what do you think she focuses on? Knowing that she's lost her youthful appearance, what does she say to herself? And more importantly, how does it make her feel? Now, Dale came into the office. She came to a seminar like this. She did a laser image lift. She did fillers, eyelid treatment. She did a touch-up. And here are her results. And advance one more slide for me, please. What do you think Dale says to herself now? Wow, that's right, wow. What does she focus on, and how does it make her feel? That's right, she's not. Dale came to so many of our events and talked to people about her experience. I'm sad to say Dale is no longer with us. She was diagnosed with a condition. She passed very quickly. But Dale is an inspiration to all of us to this day to bring out our best smiles. She was such a great smiler. And she inspired us to live for today, because none of us know what tomorrow brings. We're very grateful for Dale. Next slide, please. Everything in life evolves. If you told people 30 years ago what these devices can do today,